of there without. If we find something, we try to debunk it, and if we debunk it, we're like, okay, you are crazy.
Mm-hmm. But then again, you also got this stuff that's left over that you can't explain, and there's your paranormal evidence. Let's just put it this way. So you got 10 investigations, 9 of them are going to come up with nothing.
Right. Let's say, for instance, a flashlight was sitting on the table and it just rolled off and fell, and it's been sitting there for hours. Mm-hmm. People are going to go, what the heck was that? Well, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to try to reenact it. We're going to set that flashlight back down. We're going to walk on the floor next to it. We're going to jump up and down to it, on it next to it, and see if we can recreate it, if it was possibly us. And if it doesn't, it's quite possibly paranormal. One of Mike's favorite stories over here, he likes it when they actually turn on the flashlight for us.
Oh yeah, that's a great one of our favorite tools to use is nothing more than a simple mag light.
Really? And what do you do with the mag light?
We'll ask a question and say, if that's
someone?
a yes.
I'm sorry.
Actually,
that's our only defense.
with a mini mag.
Mag lights are like really serious weapons.
Yeah, no, we're using mini mags, but we'll actually ask a simple question, a yes or no question, and say, could you turn the flashlight on for us? And they'll actually do it.
What? Do you hear the click?
We have video on it. It's on our website.
An entity?
Yeah.
Oh.
Basically, what we do is
Nutty.
we don't necessarily use the ones that you click on and off. We use the ones that you turn the back end on to turn them off.
Okay.
And
you twist the front on.
Yeah.
So it would have to be picked up and twisted about two times over.
So does this thing ever move? Do you ever?
What we do is we take it to just that point where just the right amount of static electricity could turn it on and off.
Okay.
And we set it down. And as we said before, with the whole description of the EMF detectors, most of these ghosts, in theory, are made up of energy.
Right.
Well, if they want to manipulate that light to turn on, they would have the ability to do so.
Right. What we try to do is get about a 1/4 inch to the contact points on the flashlight on the inside, to where it would actually want to turn on.
It's enough for an
you
arc
you could shake it and it won't turn on, but they can actually turn it on because, say, static electricity can actually arc those terminals.
Right.
Wow. This is really cool. This actually might be my favorite interview that we've ever done on a radio show.
It's perfect timing, too, for the time of year.
Halloween.
Wish we had some spooky
have you
music.
ever heard of the band Nerd?
The what?
N-E-R-D?
Nerd? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what it stands for?
No.
Nothing ever really dies.
This is true.
Okay.
And there's a big thing I'd even like to bring up on that. With some of our K2 meters and EMF detectors, like I said, would detect energy, forms of energy. When somebody dies and you hold one of those over somebody, you'll actually get a burst of energy coming out of their body when somebody dies. And energy does not disperse.
Wow.
It doesn't just disappear. It goes somewhere.
Right.
And that's where we actually believe these spirits can be made up out of. When they manifest themselves, that's them gathering their old lost energy back together.
It makes sense, dude.
That's why when a lot of people tend to
that was actually scientifically proven.
When people tend to have a lot of paranormal experiences happen to them, they'll claim to have extreme cold spots. They'll feel weak. They'll feel dizzy, and that's, in theory, the entity sucking the needed energy away from that person.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And why don't
Is it?
Like, totally like Harry Potter. Like, Harry Potter can suck your magic energy.
Snorting
Because I am he whose name cannot be spoken.
Do any ghosts get addicted to, like, lines of energy?
Actually, we do.
I have yet to see a ghost with a little razor blade saying, "Give me your energy." I see that. Sorry.
I did make a box that they can actually use to gather energy from, and it works.
The EMF pulse
device. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to call into work, and I'm going to be like, I'm really sorry I can't come in because this entity stole all of my energy.
If that actually works for you, let me know, because I might use that myself.
You would be surprised at one of my former jobs. Is this an appropriate story? I don't know. I'm just going to go for it. But at one of my former jobs, everyone passed this voicemail around through the VoIP system at the office. But an employee called into work and he was like, "I'm not going to be able to come into work because I'm suffering from a very severe semen retention headache."
Oh my God.
And he was not kidding.
Was he a ghost?
Yeah, we can find that out for you.
That's a paranormal.
Don't try to suck my energy.
That, I'm going to be honest with you, that's a paranormal situation. I don't know if we'd want to be able to touch that one. That could just be a very big
I'm
mess.
sorry, but that was like the funniest thing.
So, is this like your guys' like ongoing side project? Because you guys probably have normal day jobs. Like, do you?
Yeah, we do have normal day jobs, but we're here to help. We're not thrill seekers. We don't do this just to have fun. We all get into this for different reasons, and a lot of the reasons is because we've had paranormal experiences. I personally went through an exorcism. After that, this would be, like I said, my personal experience and my reason for doing this, and that's, I had an exorcism, and it's not fun.
Wait, you got exercise?
Yeah, I did, yes.
What?
Earlier this year.
Yes,
and one of the things that made me really want to start doing this even more was the fact that, like I said, it's not fun to go through. When you wake up and you had the marking of the Trinity on your chest and inner thigh, you don't want that, especially if kids in the house. So what we try to do is we're here to help. Like I said, we're not thrill seekers. We are here to help. So if somebody has something like that going on and they need somebody to come out and prove or disprove this stuff to them and maybe even have it cleansed in the long run, like we said, we have somebody called out for that. Like I said, we're here to help. We're here to help you get rid of that.
It's definitely not something you could just look up in the phone book. So, like, how would people get a hold of you easiest?
Well, we're available by keyword on Yahoo and Google, and we do have a website, West Michigan Paranormalinvestigation.moonfruit.com.
Longest website domain I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's our name, our name, and moonfruit.com. And everything's always taken with domains. You know how it is. So yeah, I mean, we're available on there. We're even available by keyword on Facebook.
Okay,
so,
cool.
And we're, people, I actually have a droid, so any emails or anything off of Facebook, anybody that needs anything, even right away, I get that text on my phone, and I talk to you right away. You're
a
not,
man
you're
with
not
a
waiting
fast
weeks.
response time.
Yeah.
No
I'm
way.
like a 2-week response time.
Really?
People hate me.
With paranormal investigations, especially because we do tend to get a lot of come help us right away things. We do try to respond as quickly as possible.
Have you noticed like any certain busy times, like when there's a full moon? Do you get overwhelmed with emails or
I actually had somebody recently contact us this past week, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, and she said her activity actually worsens the most every full moon.
Which is understandable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
guess
guess
you got enough bad drivers out there. You might want to have ghosts too.
It's kind of like how the ocean rises with the full moon.
Right,
There's different types of energy, and I'm not like an astrologist or whatever.
Right.
I don't know how that stuff works, but there's types of energy that I know that can be casted from.
Yeah. Well, the gravitational pull from the moon is strong enough to
maybe it's bringing
affect
hell
the
up
water.
or something. I don't know.
Bringing hell up.
There's a lot of scientific theories, and that's one of the reasons why I do it. Is I've always been a big fan of that field, noetic sciences, where they give scientific explanations to spirituality and stuff like that. And I'm hoping that I could turn paranormal investigation into a full-blown scientific field. It's not exactly the most well-respected field out there, simply because, the science community kind of scoffs at it, saying, you're not using proper protocols and technique and doing your experiments and stuff. But how could you?
Yeah, with something.
You're not exactly in a lab trying to do this stuff.
Yeah, when you have a variable that constantly changes, it's kind of hard to do the typical But
I'm hoping that.
In our mic.
Yeah, I know.
I heard that too.
Weird.
I'm just hoping that one day our work can help move this paranormal sciences along.
You hear me scream?
Yeah, we heard you.
I thought it was a ghost.
He scared me coming out of the bathroom. Really bad.
Welcome to Halloween.
We thought, hey, you might have something here. We were about ready to get our gear. So
yeah, that's funny.
No, it was just Michael.
Okay, so
also we'd like everybody out there to know that we are free of charge.
Okay.
So
really?
Like I said, we are here to help.
That's nice.
Kind of like you just said. Really, the person that just recently contacted us was like, "Are you serious? You're going to drive 45 minutes out to my house free of charge?" I'm like, "Yeah,
absolutely."
She's like, "I'm going to pay you something." I'm like, "Well, we do accept donations, but we're not going to charge."
There's nothing wrong with
that.
that.
We do. We accept donations. We don't charge at all. We don't do tips. We don't anything like that.
And you're given all of the information that we find is given you on DVD or CD or whatever you need for information.
Cool. However, gas money, travel time, even the equipment. Like for one thing, what we're trying to get is using our money at some point and get a thermal imaging camera. Well,
Oh.
the cheapest one I found was $1,500.
Oh, that's expensive.
So donations are always welcome
Right.
if you wish to help us.
And
out,
we have a
help
lot of
find
high-end equipment. We have thousands of dollars in equipment, but
Oh,
there's always
absolutely.
more to get, more evidence to
Right.
solve. You know.